Broadcast live.
You're gonna open it with a rap line.
What rap line? You want me to rap for it?
You're gonna open it with a rap line.
Barom fana bidara skin, pas como le bracho pelaga bacho, tu body flow my chin. That's the way.
I was gonna say something else.
Something else?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I was gonna open it with a rap line.
Oh, I thought you were
to.
No, go for it.
Alright, now just saying, realize I'm feeling myself like a guy who's got a name with 3 eyes.
Okay. I got that.
There's no I in team. There's no I in Roiii. There's no I in...
There's a lot of eyes in Roiii, though.
There's a lot of eyes in Roiii.
Yeah, that's the way. How you feeling?
I'm good, my bro.
Yeah. I've been trying to link with you as well.
Yeah, for
like
real?
on a personal, yeah.
Yeah.
Be watching a lot of the things you're doing as well.
Shout out, man. Shout out.
Appreciative, man.
Thank you, man. I mean, like you've been I've been seeing you, man. You're like you like so super like organized with how you want to present yourself, you know, just the way you move. And I just realized that there's something there, you know. It seems like you studied the game before you actually got in the game, and I'm interested to find out, you know, what have you been watching, because everything, the moves that you make are almost calculated, I feel, you know.
Very calculated, yeah. I think before I actually got into music stuff, just being in the Pretoria scene and the club scene more than everything. So I got to see how artists look and how their funds are managed, how their managers look, and which kind of look better for me. And also linking with KO and watching how he operates. You know, they some of the most well-organized people out there, and I kind of just mimic their steps and everything else. But it's been easy going and easy flow. I'm not really the outdoorsy person. I'm like indoors all the time. So even when people see me, it's like, oh, we just never seen you before.
Yeah.
But I'm rowdy, so
yeah.
I'm surprised you said I'm organized, but I'm rowdy. I'm rowdy as well.
No, I mean, your presentation, when I see everything that you do, you know, I mean, visually, I was like, okay, are you intentionally like doing the drill in a London accent, and you literally like, no, it feels like you're doing it unapologetically, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, even taking that step to kind of go, this is what I'm gonna do. I know it doesn't sound like, what did you need to, what mental barriers did you literally need to put aside for you to kind of go, I'm gonna go that route regardless?
You know what it was? For me, making the music was never about like necessarily pleasing people and pleasing people in general. I was always it's always like, if I listen to drill and I listen, the same way you would listen to hip hop, you kind of, the same way we've done it in South Africa, you listen to the American hip hop, and that sort of feels like the correct way to do hip hop. So when I started listening to drill, I started listening to these UK rappers, so they've got the accent. So naturally, when I started recording drill, I picked up, because it starts with the slang. I started throwing the slang in there. Next thing I know, I'm full-blown UK in it. And it's almost like, now that I've realized that I'm the only one that can do this right now, I'm running with it. Because it's like, if you can't do it, you can't hate me for being able to do it. And also the music sounds good. So as long as the song sounds good and sounds the way I want it, I'm pretty much pleased with the work.
How much of an influence does the UK have? Clearly it's huge for you to be able to translate everything, because everybody does it the American way.
Yeah.
I mean, like how much of an influence, and when did you get introduced to just the UK scene?
You know, it was a song Drake did with Heady One. And I'm always looking at what the people far in front of me are doing, right? Because they always pick up the trends before they happen. So Drizzy dropped the drill song with Heady One. And I picked up that because he's always, I would say, a culture vulture in some sense.
Yeah.
So, but he knows where the market is going.
Yeah.
So I started paying attention more and more to the drill scene. And now it's like, it's all I ever really watch, right? So yeah, we grew up listening to American hip hop. But once I tapped into that culture, and I realized how close it is to, like, when we tell our stories, how close it is to the way we grew up. So obviously I'm gonna lean more towards that. So it's a big influence, but I still like to say I keep it like original. Like the storylines, everything I'm speaking about is always South African. Just the accent is what's gonna throw you off.
Where do you like put the line between studying and just listening? Because studying literally like makes you always go, okay, listening is enjoyable. Studying is like you constantly like trying to,
Thinking,
yeah,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think I don't listen to music, or I've realized I don't listen to music like everybody else, because I have to create it myself. So if I listen to a KO song, I'm picking up the patterns and everything like that. So I've realized that my lines are blurred between the listening and the studying. So if I'm a jam a song, I'm studying out the game, I'm studying what's happening. So for me with the music, especially drill, it's almost like if I pick something up and I know how it sounds, I kind of make the patterns in my head and mark it down. So every song that I do, I just mark down the patterns and just start placing them where they're supposed to go. And that's how drill has like actually been easy, because you just pick up the patterns, pick up the flows, pick up the styles, the wording. So even the music itself, listening to it, it's studying all the time, really.
I mean, just as a side note, you watching too much of those interviews too. Even your cadence when you speak.
Really? Yo, I didn't pay. Solo actually told me, he's like, you're starting to sound like these brews. I'm like, I didn't know. But I've been hearing, Morale, the videographer.
Yeah.
So I'm busy organizing a shoot with him, and he's like, yo, man, you sound just like your raps. I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And I play back the voice note. I'm like, oh, yes, I do. But that's the thing. You see, when you fully involved in something, so that's what I didn't want to do, just become a culture vulture and take something that I didn't understand and make it my own. So I've kind of submerged myself into the culture and understood and start talking. I talk to a lot of UK rappers now.
Yeah.
So even them, they feel like at home when they speak to me, they feel like they're just speaking to another brew. So I didn't understand what was going on psychologically, but now that you guys start saying things like that, I'm like, oh, I might not be from there, but I've picked up a culture that's now my own, and I'm trying to teach everybody here, and that makes it easier for myself, because if I'm gonna teach a South African brew to hop onto drill, I must know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's part of the thing right now. I probably bounce. Me and accents are. I had like a bougie boy accent at some point. I had American boy accent. Me and accents, it will bounce out at some point.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like you're a sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably am. I absorb everything. Like how you sitting. I'm looking at your demeanor in my head. I trying to feed off of that. So I'm always like paying attention to small details and trying to figure myself in like the room that I'm in.
Yeah.
So everything I pay attention to, it always soaks in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you start acting a certain way and I think it's cool, tomorrow I'm you. For me, tomorrow I'm you. Because I didn't have any father figures, or I didn't have any people to soak good information from, right? I'm not really from the alhamdulillah, the safest place in the world.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the things that I see and I think are cool and are good for me, it's easy for me to become those things. So when I was listening to Nasty and I saw how he was moving, easy for me to become a Nasty. If I saw a KO and how he was doing it, easy for me. That's why I say, you listen to my music, you're probably listening to every single artist in the game without not realizing it. You're just gonna place it on me. The image is on me.
Yeah.
But I'm really just all these guys combined and absorbing the hip. Yeah, for sure.
That's incredible. And it's great to people are so caught up in it's a contradictory conversation. Popular conversation is always like, keep it real, but I think that there's also this but we global beings,
Exactly.
and I think through your music and you just being so confident about it, I think that's really the thing that's going to make you stand out. Already you are standing out to a certain extent, but that whole thing of just, I'm comfortable. Everything you're doing now is highly criticized.
Yeah, I
in society.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you get it. Right?
I get it. I totally understand it. We don't like new ideas, especially as South Africans. We're very judgmental about something that's not, like, we're not used to. So for me, I'm very comfortable with myself now, more than I ever been. I was a total contrast of who I am now. I was insecure, I was a little chubbier, I was, he's knew me for a minute.
Yeah.
So Gilly knows.
But you left him chubby. Joking.
Hey, that's my fan. Don't hate on him. But yeah, still, I was a little bit sensitive.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess I didn't have a sound for the longest time. I didn't know I was gonna go into the drill thing. I was just a floater. Yeah. So the moment I found my footing, I became okay with the criticism. Yeah. Because as long as the music is good, there's nothing you can do to hurt me.
Yeah.
You can go play my music and say, yeah, he's doing whatever, but the music is good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't care how it's moving too much in the public or whatever, but when you listen to me by yourself, there's not a single thing you can say that I didn't do right on that song.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe. And that makes me comfortable in being who I want to be,
Yeah.
regardless of how people are going.
Yeah. It's interesting. The tongue is almost like a paintbrush, you know? It's
Yeah.
almost like if it decides to go that accent and on that beat, you know, it's who are you to tell it how to paint?
Exactly.
You know?
People don't understand that when we make music, or at least for me, when I make music, I don't have control. I don't have, like, he knows it as well. When I'm in like recording mode, I forget that, oh, I'm signing K, oh, I'm South African, oh, I'm here. It's me, the mic, and the beat, right? I don't write anymore.
Yeah.
So all the stories I'm telling are straight from the head, straight from the heart. So if I've picked up so much influences, that's what comes out.
Yeah.
And that's what you see. So that's why I say, over time, people will realize that maybe the UK thing will drop back a little bit. Maybe I'll start doing pop. Maybe I'll start doing Afrobeats a bit more. Then they'll realize where the tongue goes. Because I have some Afrobeat songs as well. And you would think I'm like from Central Africa, just hearing those. But that's because when I heard the beat, I forgot that, oh, Gimfana Pitori, Gimfana Pirara, this is who I am. That goes out the window. It's about the music and how the song sounds and makes me feel and the stories I tell on that.
So you sing?
I'm not the best singer, but I be throwing notes here and there, yeah.
You feel yourself like, obviously, because rap is what you do off the bat, you see yourself more of a musical person versus like a rap writer, you know? Yeah, you see yourself more musical because obviously they know there's a way to look at your career. There's a way of, you could look at me like the guy who's signed by KO. KO's a rapper, so he signs a rapper, so you could look at me as a multi-talented artist who can do anything.
You know the first thing KO told me when he signed me? He said something like, you are not me. I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, you are not me. It didn't settle in till now when I'm kind of building my own image and I'm starting to get that little bit of a distance from the brand. And for me, to my realization, I wouldn't say I'm a rapper, right? I'm a rapper, yeah, that's what we're gonna tell people. I'll market it easier, but I'm not a rapper, I'm a musician. I make beats, I sit and produce sometimes. I'm a creative, I paint, I build things, I sculpt. So, and I think over
like
time—
you paint or
no, like
we're
paint.
about the metaphor paint.
No, I paint.
Oh, okay, paint.
Right, I build things, I paint chairs, I'm like, I don't want to say Kanye because now it's gonna come with a come with a lot.
You're gonna be a bit crazy, then.
Right? But I'm so creative that I don't know how to say I'm a rapper. Right? I don't know how. Even when I walk in the room, I carry myself like a rapper, but I'm listening to Celine Dion more than I'm listening to drill. And people don't realize that because I'm listening to the music, not the culture, not the person, not too much the words. The music sounds good. So the rap thing, I guess, cool. I'm a rapper.
Just don't kill yourself. Just don't kill yourself listening to Celine Dion.
Celine Dion is amazing. Celine Dion, you guys sleep on Celine Dion. These are the musicians that—
I wasn't sleeping on Celine Dion. She just made me sleep.
Hey, yo. But I get that. I think.
Nah, I'm joking. I mean, she's a superstar.
Yeah.
But it don't mean I like her songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean I don't like the type of music she makes.
Yeah.
But like, it just takes me back to. Nah, it takes me back to white domination.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what it is for me? Forget the race. Think about the music.
I mean, remember, I'm talking about a time when that was a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's how old the music is. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
And it also carries a lot of memories of people that are close, that have passed. Because she was huge. She wasn't just huge. Like, she was huge. A lot of people like messed with her. So it carries a lot of things, you know, nostalgic things that you sometimes like don't really want to think of, you know?
So, see, that's my case as well. My mother used to bump Celine Dion. Crazy.
Yeah.
And I used to be so ignorant to it. And then I think I got older and I heard the first time I really paid attention to Celine Dion. I still remember like a car scene with my mom driving and we almost crashed. And like just like that, those moments now cement me to the artist, right? Just the relationship with the music and the situation that I was in. So now that becomes my understanding of her music.
Of course.
So that's why I say I don't expect you to love Celine Dion.
Yeah, there's a nostalgic attachment to it.
So Celine Dion, that's my princess. I like her.
who knew, you know? Who got a name like Roy and feels himself with three eyes? And Celine Dion is there and feels Celine Dion too. That's one eye for the eye on Dion.
You feel me?
You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly one for the Dion way.
You know?
That's the way.
And with that being said, I mean, give me a little bit of background though. You know, home. I mean, where are you coming out of when you meet KO? You know,
Yeah.
what's your situation at the time when you meet KO and your background? You just said you never had any kind of male figures or people to kind of like mentor you, or you know what I mean? What's
Yeah.
your situation like when you meet up with KO?
So I had just finished high school, right? And talking about earlier me, the old me. There's one thing that I think I realized for myself is I needed to change, not for anybody else, but I wasn't comfortable with the character I was. I was the butt of the joke. This is almost every rapper story, right? I was the butt of the joke, the class clown, the guy that everybody knew but nobody took serious. And I had decided that, yo, I don't want to be this guy anymore. So I decided, you know what? I'm packing everything. I'm going to Johannesburg for school. So I go to the Academy of Sound Engineering. And while I'm there, my manager calls me and he's like, he had been sending my music without my consent, crazy, but I appreciate him for that nonetheless. He's been sending my music to a lot of people in the game. That's why I feel like the OGs will tell you that they know where I'm going with this because they've heard songs that majority of the public hasn't heard yet. And they know when they found me, I was on the yo-yo time. I was actually in America.
Yeah.
So I get a call from him and he's like, yo, KO wants to link with you. And I think Tulu discovered me first. So we make that happen, and I think KO came into my life, or Tula and KO actually, it's kind of what as a whole, came into my life when I had just started realizing who I want to be and the kind of person I want to be and the artist I want to be. So that's where my father figures came into place, when I started picking the people I look up to. So, I mean, the safest place for me was always my head, right? And then when KO meets me, and this is a guy that I grew up listening on, and he tells me, yo, son, you're a superstar. I'm like, you were telling me I'm a superstar. And then that attachment to him also made it easier for me. So my timing, how would I put it in a time scale? It was the beginning of me, Roy, right? My real name is Prince, but I had to grow out of that and find KO. And for him to save my life. That's why I always say save my life. It's not physical really, but he doesn't know how much he's influenced my life just by him being in my life like that. So yeah, it saved my life. Shout out to KO as well.
That's incredible. So obviously, from then on, you studying Joburg, you left mom's in Pretoria.
Yeah, she wasn't the proudest of that as well. I dropped out.
Oh, okay.
So I had convinced her for some time that, you know what, I'm gonna be a rapper. She was always supportive of what I wanna do, but we had an agreement that, yo, you're gonna finish school first and then go be a rapper. First year, my things start picking up. The cold summers would drop in. I'm seeing a paycheck slide here and there. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's cool, you know. So I wrapped that up, and then we had agreement. She actually said, if I couldn't carry my own weight by the end of the year, this was last year, I gotta go back to school. So that's the whole build-up of Roy as well. That's what motivates me to be a rapper as well. So she's been supportive of me doing my music thing. I think also leaving the hood was like not the greatest achievement of my life, but the greatest exposure. I got to see different things. Because I'm a hood boy. Fana di Pathlong, fana di Gushe, and that's like how I grew up. And now I'm taken to Jersey where it's just me, myself, and I. I link with some other Pretoria brews, and we having champagne now, you know what I'm saying? We having like on champagne, you know what I'm saying? It's like a whole lot of different people, and that's where I got exposed to white girls and like different cultures as well.
Yeah.
I was always thinking like I'm gonna be with a black girl. That was the only way out.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm not saying that being with a black girl is anything wrong with that, but I'm saying
Watch out now.
no, they know I
Watch
love
out
the
now.
black girls.
Watch out now. They ready to grill you then.
I love black women, but still, it's like I didn't have a formula.
Yeah.
Right? I thought that I could only be this kind of person. My life was planned out. I thought I could only be with a black girl. I could only be with this. I could only do this. I could only sound and look like this. Till I go to Johannesburg, and it's a bunch of different cultures, and I'm like 19, 20 years old, and I'm like, wow, I could be more than this, you know? So it was, yeah, shout out to my first gym, man. Greatest time of my life as well.
Yo?
My first year.
Oh, your first year.
Greatest time of my life. I figured myself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible. It sounds like you were literally like lost. You know, you're like,
I was lost. But you know what's crazy? I didn't know I was lost.
oh wow, yeah.
I had no clue I was lost. We live life thinking we have everything figured out, right? That's how we all kind of, but this is our first time in our life as well. Like you giving me advice, my nigga, it's your first time here as well.
Yeah,
You've seen it for a little bit longer than me.
Yeah.
So, come on. The music industry helped me find myself.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I don't live in this world too much. I stay in my own corner. Because I'm still trying to figure out who I want to be as a human being. Even though people think I've already figured out in my character, like, oh, Roii's like this, I still don't know who the hell I am. I'm rapping in a UK accent. That doesn't sound like a person that really knows who he wants to be, right?
That's a bit crazy for you to say that yourself.
Yeah, I'm honest about it. I said, I think, well, not in the EP, but there's music that I'm going to drop next year where I say that this is who I am now, but this is me figuring myself out, right? I'm a work in progress as an artist.
Are you saying that if you a fan, you're saying, you know, you're saying that don't take what I'm saying in vain, but rather learn what I'm doing so you could also get lost if you need to get lost till you find yourself.
Exactly. So if my music is for lost people, all right, my music, it sounds very confident the way I approach it, but if you start listening to the music individually, the singles alone, you can realize the different characters that I am in these songs are the different characters I'm struggling to pick in my head. Am I gonna be the pretty boy Roiii that's just gonna go get the girls and be the champagne popper? Am I gonna be the lover boy Roiii that's gonna, be a homebody and So I'm figuring myself out, and I hope my goal is hopefully in about like 30 years, I can look at myself listening to my music and just see the growth in me.
How old would you be when you're 30 years?
How old would I be when I'm 30 years?
Yeah.
30? I'll be 30. Hopefully I'll be 30. It'll be weird if I'm 30 and I'm like...
I just don't like doing interviews with toddlers.
Nah. But just listening to myself in the future. That's really why I make my music. It's almost like anything with art, really. It's like taking pictures. I'm a qualified photographer as well.
For real?
Yeah. It's like trying to capsule time. So what we were trying to do. That's why we write books and we tell stories, and we're all trying to capture a moment in time and hopefully in the future live it out again.
You know, there's a thing of being lost with not enough information, and there's a thing of being lost with a lot of information. You are lost with a lot of information.
Exactly.
You know
That's
what I mean?
a curse.
Not really. It's when you're lost with no information, it's when you said you never knew you were lost.
Okay, that makes more sense. I'm getting where you're going with this. But you know what? It feels like a burden because you have so many paths you can choose, right? Like that's what I'm struggling with. I have so many things that I think I can do and become, but I want to be all of these things in one time.
Yeah.
But I feel like at some point it's going to exhaust me, right?
Yeah, you don't even have the time to be all of it. And like to the 100, to the degree.
Okay, I get,
excellence. You don't have the time. The thing about life is that like, I'm gonna use even KO as an example. You know, he's, to our eyes and from a rap perspective, he's literally like excellence, right? He's literally like gotten like his career is a hip hop excellent career.
Yeah.
I mean, like just from when we just look at longevity,
he's been here and he's doing it well.
It's
till
excellent.
This day running charts.
Yeah, but you know, he's but although he's got his gear, you know, he's got his Skhanda World, it hasn't got to the excellence of the raps.
Okay, I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get what you said.
It's there, but it hasn't gotten to, because when it gets to the excellence of that, then it's playing on a drip or back to level, or you understand?
Yeah.
But it's there.
I get
you know what I mean?
100%.
And it has the potential to get to that excellence.
So you don't think we have enough time in our lifetime to become excellent at everything we want to do?
I think that we have enough time. We could have the power to delegate people to make things within our names excellent with that time. So as an example, KO could be like the excellent rapper. Then KO literally like could have Skhanda World, and over time it can go, you know what? I'm gonna go hire the guy who's running Nike and Fila in South Africa.
Mm.
That guy, I'm literally going to hire that guy so he could take me to that level. That guy takes it to that level because he's on that
He's
level.
already, that's his full focus.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You just taught me something.
Yeah,
You know, in my head, I'm trying to do, that's what I'm saying, I'm an artist, because I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to paint, I'm trying to sculpt, I'm trying to, you know, sell shoes and just random things, right? But I'm wondering if I could do all of this at the same time.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm not speaking from a guy who doesn't have experience.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I had a clothing company. I had a green energy company. You
Yeah?
know, I had like a taxi company. I was rapping. I had an agency. I mean, like an agency, whatever it was. And I'm just trying to think what else I was doing, like at a time when I was doing so many things. I was doing all these things, and the thing is that like all of them had money put into them. And the problem is that like I lost money because I couldn't be excellent in all of them.
those.
You know what I mean? So it's one thing when you're putting your emotions in it, you just lose time. When you put in money, you lose money. But let's just say if I had put my money in just the rapping only, because the money probably came for the rapping, and I built like something that would be competitive with a global label over time. It maybe I would be in that space, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why I got to this point where like we go, hey, we're on Slick on Life. It's 10 years of Slick on Life, is because I said that I'm never going to start any other business.
Yeah.
And if I do start a business, it will be literally like a spin-off from Slick on Life.
From Slikour, okay.
You know, so it's not going to be like something like I'm going out. So I don't want to waste money. I don't want, unless I'm going to hire like an expert who's building something from another industry.
Oh, okay, then I get you 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
See, now that's the question with the music now. Because I didn't want to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of who I just became. So now it's like, I'm okay, cool. This is self-love at this point. I'm a good rapper, better than a lot of guys, but I'm now competing with guys that really wanted to do this from the beginning. Like I knew it from, I was a kid and I wanted to be a rapper. And now I'm competing with guys like that.
Sorry.
And this is where I realized I got a lot of hate in the industry from not really the OGs. The OGs are very cool. It's just guys my age, right? When they realize that I'm coming out and I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Right? I'm living life because I'm not supposed to be this guy. I'm not supposed to be here. I wanted to be a pilot.
Yeah.
Now I go to a club and it's, oh, Roii's here. I'm like, what? This is insane. People really want to see me, right?
Yeah.
So it's crazy how life kind of pushes you to do things. Like, do you think things are like you're destined to do certain things? Like, do you think you were destined to do Slick on Life, or do you think it's just a decision you came up with?
I think I was destined to just be involved in the culture space. And
That's crazy.
And I just need to know what the culture needs from me. So I say I'm a servant of the culture.
All right, I respect that.
So you gotta move from a point of you're not rapping, you're a creator.
Yeah.
But you're around rappers. So you literally will create, but you're around guys. It's almost like if you are we're gonna go to race. If you are white and you never have a mirror, but you're around black people all the time, you're gonna start thinking that you're one of the blacks.
Exactly.
You're gonna see this like white guy.
Hey, I can see this.
Yeah,
movement.
you're gonna be out there Costa teaching, right?
Yeah, that's
black,
don't say that. Don't name drop.
No, I don't mean.
But I get what you say.
I don't mean it in a bad way. I don't mean it. Shouted. This is not even a show. I'm using an example. But he's a hard worker.
Exactly.
He taught himself everything.
Yeah.
And he's teaching himself.
I actually feel like a Costa Chich as well.
Yeah, but Costa, I'll be real with you. You got to be cautious with when you compare yourself with Costa, because Costa, the one thing he does is work.
Yeah, he outworks me every single time. I know that for a fact. He works harder than most industry mates. Like, he is always on a push. But I think with the culture thing, right?
Yeah.
He's immersed himself so much in the rap culture and the black hip-hop culture, that it's almost like when we look at Costa, we can't say he's not a rapper.
Yeah.
Like, if, God forbid, he says the N-word, I really wouldn't be too mad at him, right? Because he's not siphoning, he's not culture vulturing this thing. It's who he is as a human.
I don't know about that.
Hey, man, it's a story for another. We'll have a different conversation.
I'm just talking about the N-word. I don't know about the N-word. I don't know about that.
Do you think Costa's appropriating our culture?
Hell no.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't. I definitely don't. I think that Costa literally gives. I mean, Costa literally is organized it. He's literally brought dance back. You know,
Yeah.
he cares about the
Yo.
visual. He cares about the visual. He cares about the sound. You know, I mean, that man literally like never came there and tried to throw like some Zulu words here and there.
Yeah.
That
He
man
really
literally like cared about knowing even the language.
language
You know what I
itself.
mean?
See, that's what I'm saying. He's so immersed in the
But it
culture.
still doesn't mean he can say the N-word though.
Okay, I rate that as well. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't say it regardless. He shouldn't say it regardless. But I'm saying if God forbid he says it.
I don't think that'd be okay.
Okay, cool.
Regardless of all
I
the
know
good things
everybody
I
has-
said about him, I don't think that'll be. I think let's put a vote here. You know, what does everybody else think? I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll fly.
But he is already legendary status.
Right.
He's already pushing the envelope. He's already a leader of a culture, and that's not even a color thing.
Exactly.
He's already moving the culture.
Exactly.
Because the kids he's moving around with are young black kids that literally are
African kids all over Africa. Like,
Come on.
I really thought this brood, when he first came out, I'm like, okay, cool, South Africa's captured. But how long is he gonna do this? And this is before I knew him as a person. This is me watching him on the telly, like, yo, is this man gonna live? And then he starts doing the Ugandas, the Tanzania, and they are going ham for his music. I start asking myself, do words matter? Because I know most of them don't understand what he's saying.
I never, before he even hit you, I just saw his work ethic.
Yeah?
I just saw how he thought. I just thought like everything is just so calculated, and he cares about how he does these things. You know, I just saw how he was like his strategy on digital. I just saw this kid and I said, yo, this kid right here,
I'm just gonna do it.
You know, I don't know, because I've never seen it in my
Anything
time.
like that,
you
yeah.
know, I've never seen I wasn't born during Johnny Clegg's time, so like you said, it's also my first time in the world. You know, but I could see that, like, yo, I don't know how he's gonna fit in this culture that's like black and everything else.
Yeah.
But goddamn, this kid he's doing
He's got
something.
something, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
you know?
definitely talented. I love what he's doing, man. Shout out to Costa.
Yeah, you know, shout out to Costa, man. Where were we though? What the hell were we talking about?
We off-ramped a lot. A long time ago. We went oh, see, that's the thing I tell people. I say, I ask questions. So the conversation is probably going to end up leaving somewhere because I ask questions. I'm fighting with myself in my head to ask a question because I need to know, like, where is your head? What are you asking? Where is it coming from?
We were talking about, like, it's better to be lost with information than lost without information.
Yeah.
That's where we at, you know. And you were talking about doing many things, but I was just trying to just elaborate to you. You know, if you could ask me, I don't have any regrets in my life.
Yeah.
Yo.
It's a clean slate for you.
Yo. I mean, like, there's ups and downs, but like the tough times got me here. And that's why I even say, even when you try to give like the young kids like advice and they don't listen, it's not my place to be mad.
Yeah.
Because they have to, if they don't listen, then the wall must hit them so they can get up again and be stronger.
Dust themselves.
You know what I mean? If they can stand up.
See, that's the thing.
If they, but yeah, you know, if they can stand up.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if they can't stand up and you gave them the advice, that means that they were literally gonna like maybe disappear slowly and quietly, and no one was gonna care, and they never hurt anybody, and they never ruined any relationships, you know?
Yeah.
So that means they were gonna fade anyway. If you give them the advice and the wall hits them and they still get up, that means that there's nothing in their way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So that's really my view. But if I had to ask myself my regret, if there's something that I could have done, I think if I was wiser, I could have invested time in the one thing that I really cared for. And let that thing become the thing that influences you read the Richard Branson story. This is how money is even invested. The Richard Branson story is that he starts off on Virgin. Janet Jackson literally like sells a couple of records. He makes a lot of money from that. He moves that money to something and he hires a champion who literally will know how to run the airline. You know what I mean?
I think we all want to be little gods. That's why. Like, we all want to be demigods on this earth, right? That's why we don't really help each other. We're all in our little, because we want to be the guy that did it all.
But I mean, is that really godly if you can look at Richard Branson when he doesn't even know half of what's happening in his businesses because he's got the champions that are doing the expertise in that.
Yeah.
And he got a couple of so our context of being godly is wrong then.
Yeah. I figure, but we live in a world where it's like, even as musicians, right? We want to be so in control of everything. And this is one thing I've learned thank God I found Skhanda. Because I had to let go. I was always the I was the manager, the artist, the editor, the photographer, the videographer. I was everything in one. And then I got to a point where I met these guys and they take my music and I'm like, they like feed us the music, sit with us. And it's still a challenge today sometimes because I'll be doing things and they be like, yo, you didn't tell us what you're doing, right? And they like, give us the music, let's help you in this side. Let's help you. So even with the La Vida visuals, for the first time in my life, I sat down with a person and told them what I'm thinking. That's always been a challenge to me. Like, okay, cool. I want to go to the UK now, but I'm gonna do it. They say, how are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
Right. So I think maybe if musicians, that's one thing we haven't picked up yet is how to let go of owning. I'm gonna say this in quotations because I don't want people to take it far, but in owning our music, right? We don't trust people with us because everyone is so attached to our music. Everyone, you're attached to your own, what you created. This is your story. You want to direct it yourself, but you can't drive the ship and pull up the sails as well and feed the you know what I'm saying, the workers on the boat. You gotta start letting go a little bit and let people be as well.
I mean, I think that like our instincts generally know who to trust though. So that's why I also don't want to give anything to everybody because I trust them, right? And because I don't trust them. Part of our instincts, like our general instincts go, this is who I am.
Yeah.
I'll hand you the video, but you're not going to treat it with respect.
Yeah.
Till this day, I make my decisions based on who cares for it like I care for it. But not everybody. And the truth is that not everybody cares for it. And that also is a wake-up call that like, you know what, bro? You're not the hottest shit out there. But you gotta believe you're the hottest shit out there. That's why if that guy doesn't think that, then you gotta move it to the other guy. Stop trying to convince people that your shit is hot. They don't see it, then move on to the next guy or just do it yourself. So all the skills you have, they're not a waste because you literally gonna need them for the guys that don't believe the vision like you do. And that's why you've been given those skills. God literally operates in a funny way. He's gonna because you're so broad with your talent, you're gonna sometimes make people go, we feeling, but what was that? And then that's where all your skills are gonna have to kick in.
Yeah.
Because you're the one that's gonna move yourself up all the time, not anybody else.
Yeah.
So that's not even a waste.
Hey man, time will tell. Figuring myself out, one song at a time.
You're gonna need those skills. That's one thing for sure. They're not wasted.
I think
and because you're not only making songs, you're doing all these other shit, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why you're gonna need those skills because someone else will not believe in that thing then like they believe in the other.
Yeah.
And you're gonna think that person's gonna believe in it. Then you're gonna be frustrated and go, but then you're gonna do it yourself in frustration, not knowing that you are actually fixing it and you're doing it great.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
I pray for that to happen in my life. I hope that's the case.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll come back and you'll tell me when it's popping. And
I will tell you.
You know, they never, and I did it myself.
Yo, that's the way. I don't think I've actually ever been an I've been it myself rapper. Right? Yeah. From the beginning. Everything, like, where I'm at now even, like, I don't do things myself too much. The only thing that I can say I'm fully involved in is the beginning and the end of the song. That's where I know. But for me to sit here and have a conversation with you, it takes a KO to find a kid like me and put me on a chair like this. So I have a moment to, showcase myself. So how can I say I build myself as a rapper? I can't own that.
But you can't keep on going back to you're around black people and you're white and then you think you're black. That's your problem. You keep on referring yourself to as a niche instead of referring yourself as a broad creative. You it's your mind. You keep on diminishing yourself. You keep on diminishing yourself. It's almost like you keep on saying, yo, how am I gonna see on top of the mountain if I'm always like sitting at the bottom at the house that's down the river? You know.
I get that.
You literally see what everyone else is seeing, like in the village. If you don't go build your house in the mountain and accept that your house, actually, you're not accepting your house.
KO tells me this all the time. He's like, you're a superstar. You're gonna be so great. You're gonna do so. I'm like, how, dude? I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, just watch. And even over time, now I'm starting to see that, oh, this is what he was talking about. Like, because I was always like, even myself, when I'm in the studio, you'll pick up. I'm just doing this for doing its sake. And they're like, yo, this is dope. I'm like, what's dope about that? Yeah, that's kind of goofy, but let's go with it, right? But I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to do some introspection on what you said.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just a conversation I had with someone else. Stop associating yourself with the level of other people's specialities or what's special about other people that you miss how special you are.
Yeah.
You know, and you're doing a lot of association
Yeah.
with people that literally like don't have the speciality that you have. And sometimes the speciality you have also needs you to walk your own path. You could say that you're sitting here because it needs like a KO to be here. You could say all
But
that.
it's fate as well, right?
It's-
Like we all built by the people around us, you know? I don't like taking too much ownership than I deserve, right?
Yeah.
When I make a good song, I'll tell you, I made a good song.
Yeah.
That song's amazing. I know it. I believe it,
Yeah.
right? But when I've received help, like as much as we believe that I probably would have been all right as a rapper had I not met KO, I probably would have done something as well. But we're here today because of people like that. So I've always got to give him his flowers, whether he wants to take them or not.
Yeah.
Because in my life, it's like, I don't know the other outcome.
You know
This
what?
is the only reality I'm in.
You know why KO's behind you though?
Yeah.
Because he knows that you're gonna walk your own path. He knows you're gonna walk your own path. And you know, all he's just saying is just a reminder. He knows you're gonna walk your own path.
He's been telling me to,
Yeah.
to like this is how we hear now as well. Everyone is in the label for the first time. You know, he also said it to me. He says he had to learn how to let us all start figuring ourselves out.
Yeah.
And when he let go of that fatherly hand, that's also when I started realizing, oh, crazy. The world is here. This is what's happening. That's how I figured myself out. So I guess in some sense, yeah, you're correct. You're correct in saying that for sure.
Yeah. He's it's almost like what he's giving you, he already knows that you can handle it. And what God gives you, he already knows that you can handle it too.
Yeah.
So you need to stop looking at yourself about, you need to stop that rap stuff. You clearly you like a whole creative, from an engineer.
Yeah.
You literally like have invested your life in creativity, and its outlet is through rap, you know, and that's more. You know
I
what
get
I
what
mean?
you're saying, yeah. 100%. 100%, but I agree with you on that.
Yo, Roy, man, thanks for coming through.
I appreciate you. Had a long conversation about a lot, actually. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. I always say, like, I like the interviews where we go further than we were supposed to go. Because now I'm actually going to go, and I'm now going to have an easier time making something else. Like, I'm going to write a song about this. You're going to hear it at some point and be like, what the hell? This nigga's talking about all that. Yeah, but I appreciate that. You taught me something. I needed that.
I appreciate you, man. I'm grateful that I'm able to do that. You know, with myself being in the world for the first time. Also, you know what I mean.
That stuck with you as well. You're gonna start telling people like it's my first time living. As well.
I mean, I always say that though. That's really a thing I always say. I always say that
it's our first time.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too attached whether people listen to me or they don't listen to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm speaking because I know what I went through, you know, but I'm going to tell you that, yo, this is what could happen there. You say, fuck that old guy, or you go, you know, the old guy said this, you know. I'm 100%. Like, but you know, part of our lives and part of humanity, like Ubuntu, is to actually say, watch out there. But part of literally like the growth and the persistence of humans is saying, I'm not gonna watch. Let me get hit by the wall.
Yeah.
So that's we almost have that tension.
Yeah.
The humanity is watch out there, but the value of persistence and the value of being groundbreaking and changing things is saying, yeah, he said it, but I'm gonna go that way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
You know, and that's what's created apples. That's what's created groundbreaking things. You know, that's what created hip hop in the local market. They said, go there. We said,
That's what created good city, bad roads. Right? They said, don't make drill. Drill is not going to work in South Africa. Don't do it. Your favorite rappers. And I'm the only kid doing drill.
Oh, you're not naming any names?
No, I'm not going to say any names. But also, it took some, I needed to hear that. Because I wasn't going to do drill. Yeah. If like, I always work, when you say something's going to work, you're telling me I need to go figure out how I'm going to make this work. Because I need to show you.
Yeah.
It can work.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to name drop. But I want to say thank you. He knows himself. He knows himself very well. But shout out to you for telling me that. Say less.
All right, cool. The behind the scenes, we'll find out. We'll hit you with the guess who the name is, guess who the artist is, you know, and we'll literally have it there in the comments. And the person the person that gets it right, I say literally send them a DM and say.
If you think about the big three in South Africa right now, so I'm gonna leave it at that. That's enough said. The big three in South Africa, one of those people told me it's not gonna happen, but it happened. Say less.
so K was one of the big three.
Let's not figure it out.
K was one of the big three, right?
Yeah.
Are we saying AKA is one of the big three?
Of course, he's one
Right?
of the big three.
Casper's one of the big three.
Yeah.
I just want to set context of who we're seeing as
Yeah,
big
yeah,
three,
yeah,
right?
That's that. You closed it. It's somewhere between those three.
I then.
Love to them though.
I can guess though.
I take a guess because I don't think he also. I told him about it as well, so you can take a guess.
I definitely think it's Casper.
Nah.
Keenan.
Nah.
Listen, forget it. Listen.
But it's not Casper.
But
It was Keenan.
I mean, obviously, like
was
I mean, it
Keenan.
can't be KO. You know what I mean?
It was Keenan, and he said it at a time where I needed to hear because we were recording a song for the label in the tape, and he comes through. I'm like, "Yo, big homie, listen, I got you know how the young rappers are. Big homie, listen, I got this track. I gotta hear this. It's gonna bang so much. I play this joint, and this man is going. It's like, hey, it's hard, innit? But yo, my boy, the country we're in, I'm not too sure about that. And then I took the risk. For the first time I went against, because I always value, the OG said, don't do this, I'm not gonna do it, I'm done. For the first time he told me, he's like, and first time I heard him admit that he just doesn't think it's gonna work. That's all it is, it's hard song, it's not gonna work. And I did it, and to this day, I'm grateful that he told me that, because I wouldn't have done it.
Listen, someone told him that like English rap was not gonna work also. Maybe it could have been me. Maybe it could have been me. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because, you know, I've also,
you know, and then
he's also had a situation where he's played with stuff like OGA when he was, and I was like, you know, so I probably told him English rap on also.
Nah, leave it.
You dig?
I get it.
The wheel keeps turning.
Yeah, I see what you were saying earlier.
Yeah. Majin.
Appreciate you so much, man.
What a dope
Amazing
one.
conversation. Man.
Nice one. We out here with Roy, you know, as I said, what are my rap lines? Oh, as I realized.
3 eyes?
Which other man feels himself that he's got 3 eyes, you know?
Yes, sir.
So what you gotta realize with the Homo Roy, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Let's go get it. Peace. You're gonna see yourself anyway, it's your third eye.
I gotta. You believe in like third eyes and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's complex, yeah.
Let's leave it at that. Say less.
You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. You need a third eye in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Broadcast live